Let me know what you're seeing. Just 60 seconds early to make sure everything's sounding okay. I'm Adam. I've been with Artiphon for quite a while, actually. I was around for the Instrument One Kickstarter days, and the rest is history. We'll talk a little bit about Instrument One. I have one plugged in here. I'm also very excited to talk about Orba. You guys might be asking yourselves, why is it green? Why isn't mine green? Well, that's because we just announced these new silicone sleeves, and we have blue and we have neon green, also known as the Billie Eilish edition. Just kidding. She hasn't said that yet, but we can dream big. So we'll be getting into that a little bit. In about 15 minutes, we'll have our first guest, Derek VanScoten, a.k.a. Cloudchord, and that's going to be just absolutely fantastic. So we're hoping to keep the evening pretty energetic and keep switching it up. So I'll be playing lots of Orba, a little bit of Instrument One. I'm hoping we can take a real deep dive. I'm hoping that you guys come up with questions, which I'll be happy to answer. We have a couple of other Artiphon team members also in the chat room. Jacob will be helping you guys out all the way from Maine. I'm broadcasting from Nashville, Tennessee, where the company's been headquartered for a long time. And sun's still out here. Let's see if we'll keep our natural light for most of the evening. Super low volume, I'm hearing. How about I turn that up just a little bit? Check 1 2, check 1 2. Is that working a little bit better for you guys? Check 1 2, check 1 2. Why don't we start with a little Orba demo, and we'll kind of call that the sound check. Again, I appreciate the feedback in the chat room. Let's get this sounding really good for you guys. Underwater and far away, that's not what we want at all. How's that coming through, guys? Sounds good here. All right, I really appreciate the feedback. All right, so this is Orba. And right now, what you're hearing is me using Orba as a synthesizer. We'll get into the MIDI controller capabilities a little bit later in the evening. I wanted to start by keeping it simple. It actually has a speaker on it. What you're hearing right now is a direct signal out into my little mixer over here. And so these are the default sounds that come stock with every Orba that we ship. And there's a way to change those, and I'm happy to dive into that a little bit later too. But let me just take you through the very, very basics. What you just heard is a little bit of drums. And that's the first mode. If you look on the surface, you'll actually see there's drums, bass, chord, and lead. And those are the 4 different modes. To change modes, all I have to do is press the A button. I get a little haptic feedback buzz, and now I'm on the bass mode. You can see there's a little blue light telling me I'm in bass. One of the reasons bass is so fun is that it's monophonic, so I can do these cool grace notes. And this is one of the gestures. We'll talk about gestures a lot, but this gesture is called tilt. It's like the mod wheel on your MIDI keyboard. This is Orba's version of mod wheel. You can tell I'm opening the envelope when I do that. I'll show you another mode. This is chord mode. Which also responds to tilt. So chord mode is different because for every one note I press, I actually hear 3 different notes come out. So imagine like triads on a keyboard. I'm hearing Mike can come down a little bit. All right, hopefully we found our mix by now. And there's lots of good questions. Let me go over the lead right here, and then I'll start responding to some of those. So lead is not a major scale. This one's a little bit different. Lead is actually a pentatonic scale because we wanted it to feel a little bit like soloing on a guitar over the track that you make. Now, lead responds to the gestures in a really interesting way. When I play it and I hold Orba flat, I get these percussive plucky notes. When I tilt, the sound actually gets longer. I'll show you guys a little trick. Even if you have an Orba, you might not know this one. I'm going to actually turn my lead an octave down. So the way I did that is I held the A. The A is like a menu button. And then I slid from octave just down one pad. So now I have one octave lower than the default, and it's this really rich tone that sounds almost like string-like, cello, guitar, somewhere in between. Of course, all of these sounds are synthesized. We're not playing samples here, so everything kind of has its own flavor. Why don't we make just a little loop here to get warmed up? Whoops, sounds like I already had one on there. I wonder if it was any good. Let's start over. So this is actually a good little teaching moment here. What I'll do is I'll show you guys how to clear a loop. You hold the A button, like we said. A is your menu. That's how you access everything else. I'm going to hold A, and then I'm going to hold record as well. So I'm going to hold A, hold record, and these lights will circle around. And now if I press play, there's nothing on it. Blank slate. You'll hear a click start. Now, I don't have to rush to get started. It will not start recording until I play my first note, so I can really take my time. So we have, I guess that's a 4-bar loop right there. Let's put a little hi-hat on top. Kind of weird timing there, but we'll go with it. Let's let that roll for a second while I check out the comments section. See what people are wondering. You guys seem to like the way it sounds, so I'm just gonna keep going here if that's cool. All right, so I'm gonna pause that, which is easy to do. All I have to do is press A and then play pause to play and pause it. Why don't we add some chords to this track? So all of that's fine. I'm actually feeling like it's a little slow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed it up, and I can do that right on the device. So did you catch what I did there? I actually adjusted the BPM by tapping. How about a little bass on top of this? I just enabled it to record. Now let's say I just want to play around for a little while. I don't have to record. I can go on my lead. Let's put that back in the octave it started. and I'll let it play, and I'll just have some fun making little melodies on top. Maybe I'll adjust the octave on that. So I already went down an octave. What if I go up? So if you didn't catch that, hold A, that's my menu, octave up. I can go octave down, or back to where I started. So now we have the higher octave here. And let's record a little bit more. So if you can imagine, the Artiphon team makes a dozen of these every single day, which is a lot of fun. Let's see what kind of questions we're getting. Let's take a second here and let that play. I'm hearing we want to do a demo as a MIDI controller. We definitely will do that. I think I'll do that after we have our first guest because it's a slightly different setup. So I want to make sure that we have time. What I will show you now is just a quick preview of the app. I'm seeing some questions about how to adjust BPM and how to adjust keys. So I'm happy to address that right now. BPM can be adjusted by tapping on Orba if that's what you want to do, but that's not the only way to do it. You can also type a BPM in, and you simply type right here. So my tempo was 163.04, and that's because I tapped it, so it doesn't round down. It just gives you exactly what you tapped. Let's get rid of that song, and I'm going to make a song in D minor. That should be quite nice. You can also choose your artwork. You can choose something from your hard drive if you like, or take a picture if you're using your phone, or choose another random round object. Orba was inspired by everyday round objects, so this is a little bit of a nod to the design process. Just some different everyday objects that inspired us, like a persimmon or a cup of tea. I go for a cup of tea right now, so gotta name this. Let's name this Synthexpo. Perfect. And the artist is, of course, me. I'm Adam, for those of you just joining. I'm actually the director of marketing at Artiphon. And I love doing this kind of stuff. So now we have a song in D minor. So if I play, I'm going to go to lead. Let's exit this browse window. Let's go to the bass for a second. That's still sounding a little bit major. Let's have a quick look. Oh, it looks like it didn't take my major. Let's try it one more time. So we're going to go Synth, Expo, D minor. Let's say that I wanted to sync my Orba with a song I already had. 150 BPM. Click save. Let's see how we're doing. Looks like it's bouncing back to major, so we'll have to look into that. This was working just a second ago. Don't forget, Orba's brand new. We just started shipping these things out. So very, very exciting to be testing this in front of you guys. And we're, of course, extremely eager to be receiving feedback. Seeing another question about how to change sounds in the app. And the way you do that is you go to presets. You see over on the right, there's actually 4 different modes, just like I showed you: drum, bass, chord, and lead. And for each of these, there's a different sound. So there's only there's 10 sounds here if you were to count them, but it's actually 10 times 4 because for every preset, we made a new sound. So cartridge, for instance, is our video game preset. Oh, I know why. I'm not even connected to the app. That's so silly. I just straight up didn't even connect to the app. So we'll get back to this. But what I just did is I showed you exactly how to do it. So that's a user error on my end. In just a moment, we're going to have Cloudchord join us. That's Derek VanScoten. So he'll be up in a little bit. In the meantime, I'll plug my Orba in so that we actually can hear some of these different presets in the app. So actually, I just plugged in my Orba. This is another good teaching moment. You see right here, my Orba just started glowing. So let's do exactly what we did. One more time, now that we're connected. D minor. Who remembers what tempo we had? 150. This time, we're going to choose a moon. I think the problem was we didn't choose the right icon. Just kidding, of course. All right, so now we're starting. It's uploading a different preset. And now, ooh, spooky for Halloween. I now have a minor key, D minor to be specific. So if you were going to take Orba on stage, or you knew you were going to a coffee house jam and there's a particular song you were going to play on, you might do something like that where you put it in the key you know you're going to use. All right, it's 5:30, so what I'm going to do, let's see if we have anybody over in the chat room here. Hello there. Is that you, Derek?
Hello.
How are you?
This is me. I'm great. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Let's make sure that our YouTube audience is able to hear you as well. Folks in the chat room, want to just give us a quick thumbs up if you can hear Derek okay? We tested everything rigorously, so it should all be great. For those of you who don't know, Derek also goes by Cloudchord.
Actually, yeah.
Derek is a little low. I can fix that on my end. All right, I think we should be good now. I got my eyes on the meter over here. Derek, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I think all I need to do is just mute you so you can hear me through my speakers.
Oh, I can hear you fine. I think that they can too, actually. If you have the YouTube going in the background, that might cause issues. You might want to mute the YouTube live.
I do not have it back.
Okay, perfect. I cranked it, guys. I cranked it. We should be good now. All right. That sounds good. You came ready to play.
I came ready to play. I'm a professional.
Derek, so for those of you who don't know, Derek goes by Cloudchord. We are gonna play a video of his in just a little bit, but I don't want to start with that actually. I just want to start by learning a little bit about you, Derek. So you at some point in your life spent a little bit of time in Nashville, where I am now. Is that right?
I sure did. Looks like you've done your homework.
A little bit. And
yeah, I went to MTSU.
And you're broadcasting from Austin, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yep. I currently live in Austin, but since MTSU, I have also lived in Colorado and Brooklyn.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, you're in good company in all those cities. We have Artiphon team members in just about all of them. Now, Derek, were you going to play something for us? I couldn't help but notice that you're all wired up.
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe just doing a little short looping kind of thing with the Orba and my guitar, or maybe showing a little bit of my process on how I use this instrument.
Well, the floor is completely yours. I'll keep my eye on the chat and make sure that the levels are great. So you just do you, and I'm going to stay out of your way otherwise.
Cool. All right. Cool. Here we go. One, two, three. So I got my drum loop. Now I'll do some chords. Turn up those chords a little bit. Here we go, chords. Go to bass. Something like that. Hope it came through all right.
How about that, people? That was something special. I appreciate that, Derek. What I'm gonna
winging it.
What I'm gonna ask you to do is, I mean, these people watching and listening right now, they're into the nerdy stuff. I can tell. So what I would love it.
Okay.
I would just love it if you could tell us a little bit about what you did there, and feel free to really get into it. These people can hang.
Yeah. So there is a template that y'all came out with that I kind of modded, which there's a video for on my YouTube channel, and you can check it out. So basically, what you guys did was really great, so that now when I switch between roles or instruments here, and instantly those sounds come up. So let me articulate a little bit better. So I'm on drums. So that's channel 10 inside Ableton Live. So that instantly goes to my drum racks when I'm on drum. And so I have everything record enabled, so it's ready to go. And all I have to do is switch instruments on the Orba. So now I'm in bass. Oh, sorry, that's my lead. I went backwards. Here's my bass. And so what I'm doing is I have a channel for each one of them, and then I have my push down here, which you can't see, and I'm just launching a clip to record, and then it's at a fixed length, so I can just be hands-free. So they were all 4-bar loops. So I would just, at the end of 4 bars, the loops fires off, and I can move on to the next instrument, and it makes it really easy to not have to do too much extra hand work.
That's amazing. So I'm going to take a guess that you started as a guitarist and found live looping a little bit later in life. Is that a good guess?
Exactly.
Yeah, interesting. And
yep,
what
played in rock and roll bands, all that kind of stuff.
What got you into it in the first place?
Live looping?
Yeah.
I think just probably through guitar pedal culture. Mm-hmm. There's a whole guitar pedal culture thing, and I was like one of those teenagers that my pedal board kept growing and growing by the day. It started off with a simple distortion pedal, and you fast forward 3 years later and it's a whole bunch of stuff. So I actually still have one of my original Boss looper stations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But now I love looping in the box because it's quantized and it's so easy, and it takes a lot of the guesswork out, so you can just really kind of wing it.
So that makes me wonder, how is Orba as a looper different than other loopers you've used? How is it similar? Like what of your looping experience do you pull into Orba, and what doesn't translate? What's really different? I'm curious to know.
Sure. Well, I mean, I use it. I don't use it as much in the way of like the built-in sounds that you have as a standalone instrument. Mainly because, like as you mentioned, I tend to be a guitarist, and that kind of tends to be
Mm-hmm.
my main axe. But I really love using it as just a real easy, like Bluetooth wireless MIDI controller around my studio, where I can pick it up and I can just, I can be, I can go to drums, and no matter where I'm at my studio, I could be over here on the roads and I could pick this up. And oh, sorry, let me turn up my volume a little bit. And then I just, no matter where I am, like,
Mm-hmm.
because my push is here and it's amazing, but I have to be here in the console position. Whereas this, I could be anywhere in my studio and be looping. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. You look like you have some fun stuff in your studio. I see Blip Blocks, who are also live streaming. Is that right? That little white thing behind you? Do I have that right? And all kinds of good stuff.
Super.
Yeah. Those things are fun. I think they're literally live streaming one room away. I caught a little bit of that before.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Derek, let's put you on the spot a little bit. Do you have any questions, or are you wondering anything about Orba? I bet that whatever you're thinking is very similar to the other, let's see, 60 people watching the live stream right now.
Sure. My questions. I haven't got a ton into. This is kind of a nerd question. If you'll deal with me here.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Like really getting into. I haven't gotten into the super nitty gritty of like building your own scales or modes, or being able to do that on the fly, and like how to get accidentals and that kind of stuff. And so I'd be interested if that is something that I haven't dug into yet, or if it's in development for the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like how would I some random like Japanese pentatonic scale or something like that.
Well, so yeah, and now you're putting me on the spot a little bit, which is good. But I guess I was kind of asking for this. So I just showed everybody watching how to change your key, at least. And at the current moment, we tried to design the Orba standalone experience to be very simple, very minimal. That was very much our intention. We also wanted to make sure that everything was MIDI compatible, so that people like you could get into Ableton and Max and just have an absolute field day with doing some of that stuff. So I, on any given day, will fluctuate between just leaving it on my desk in C major, 120 BPM, and doing that kind of thing, and then putting it in Logic and seeing how far I can take it. And trying to design an instrument that could do both is obviously the challenge, not just for Orba, but all of the products moving forward. So sky's the limit with that, and it's exactly the kind of conversation we want to be having with people who are getting their hands dirty with Orba to start. It's a great question, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Derek, what I want to do for these folks is I actually want to play one of your Instagram videos, if that's okay. And
Awesome.
So I'm thinking we could even cut you loose if that works for you.
Sure.
And you can, unless there's anything else you want to say, you've certainly pulled your weight around here this evening, and that was just such a stellar performance.
Sure. I'd say, just if you're interested in finding me more, I'm at Cloudchord on all social media, or cloudchord.net is my main site. That's the easiest way to remember.
So Derek, don't go yet. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm sharing with everybody on YouTube right now your Instagram account. Everybody, this is Cloudchord's Instagram account. We're going to play this video in just a second. This is his YouTube channel, and this particular video here is a deep dive of using Orba with our Max for Live Ableton. Actually, Derek, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Will you tell people a little bit about what you did specifically in this Ableton Live video that I'm gonna let people watch on their own?
Can you ask that question one more time?
Yeah, so I have this video jamming on the Artiphon Orba inside Ableton Live video that you put up. And
you wanted me to?
I want you to talk a little bit about the Max patch and how you used it.
Yeah, that was great. That was a great learning adventure Basically, I try in the video, I go through my bass, chord, and lead channel, and I'm using different elements of the motions because of the max patch, I can map those to various elements. So in my bass, I mapped an element to filtering, and in my chord, I had like a drop tuning thing that was mapped. So I really kind of get into the nitty gritty of it, but it was just it was fun to be able to map the different motions to different aspects of the sounds or patches that I used.
And so I'm also sharing my screen just for a second. Folks out there in the audience who are interested in that kind of advanced configuration, there is a Max for Live utility device available for Mac and Windows. This is artiphon.com/downloads. It'll take you right there. So, Derek, awesome. So, thank you for joining us. Please have an amazing evening, and
you too.
Keep making beautiful music. We love it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, talk soon.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, let's play this video. It'll give me a second to grab a sip of water and read the comments as well. All right. Derek, thank you so much for joining, man. That was absolutely fantastic. So why don't we hop in just for a few minutes back into some of the app stuff that we were looking at with Orba. I was having fun showing that off, and I'd like to do a little bit more of that. I'm also seeing some questions about how to change sounds and presets, so I'd love to address it. What I'm going to do, I think, for this little part of the demo is I'm actually going to put a mic up to Orba. And the reason for that is twofold. One is I was actually getting some weird grounding issue when I was plugged in direct. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to go, I'm using my USB-C cable to chat with the app. So now I'm connected to the app. This was my big mistake before. You guys should have seen it in the Artiphon Slack channel. Everybody was like, it's not connected, it's not connected. So my team is watching, and they're looking out for me, and they weren't very happy about that because we spent a lot of time trying to get this right. So what I am hoping you guys hear now is actually a microphone on Orba, which might not sound quite as pretty as the direct line, but now you actually get to hear the speaker, which we're very pleased with. It's nice and loud. We tried to design it to be loud enough so that you could actually jam with an acoustic guitar or similar. And this will also allow me to click around in the app a little bit and not worry about that direct line and the grounding issue. You got to see how many wires I have right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this sound cartridge for every preset. So mixing and matching presets is another thing you can do. It's not just the same sound on different octaves. We actually curated different synth patches to work together to try and create an experience. And cartridge, if you can tell by its artwork, is supposed to sound like video game music. So that's extremely fun. It's one of my favorite patches. And let's just listen to some of these cartridge sounds. Now I'm on bass. You can see that the app actually switches at the same time. You feel like you're saving a princess in a castle? And finally, lead. So why don't we try and make something that actually sounds a little video gamey? That could be fun. I almost always start with drums, so it's actually really fun to try and do it the other way around. Now let's add a little drum. Don't forget, for this right now, you're actually hearing the speaker on Orba. This experience, actually just being standalone Orba synthesizer, is one of my favorite ways to approach the instrument, because there's, other than this cable that I'm using right now to change sounds and give you guys a demo, you really don't need anything. If I were to unplug right now, I would still have all of these cartridge sounds on Orba. I could take the song wherever I want, and I just think that's one of the most fun and easy ways to make a little bit of music throughout the day. Did we show you this yet? This is bump. You've heard me refer to a couple of the other gestures, but let's add some claps by bumping on the song. Did you guys hear that chord in there that didn't sound very good? Let's say I'm unhappy with my chord. I just saw somebody ask about this. How do we, if we need to, how are we going to get rid of just one part of the song, right? And there's a couple ways you could do it. I could press this clear button right here, and it's gone. Let's listen. Let's say I wanted to redo the drums. I could go to drum and then press clear. But there's actually a more fun way to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold A and then shake, like Etch-a-Sketch. And actually, you couldn't see because I didn't show you, but the lights all turned red. And that means I should no longer have drums. And now if we want, we can try a completely different feel, shall we? Should we do a halftime thing? So I hope that answered your question there of how we clear just one track at a time. I could also clear the entire song if I want to. I actually kind of like the song, so I'm just going to click save right here. And that's just one example of how I might change sounds. There's actually a number of different presets. I'll show you guys one more before we take our next call. We have a wonderful guest, Oora, coming up soon. We'll learn all about him and his amazing work. Let's just try out another sound. So one of the things we can do, because this is a digital instrument, a connected device, we can continue to add features and sounds as we go. And just last week, we released a new preset pack called Minimax, which is kind of a minimal electro sound. So those are the drums. Let's hear the bass for that as well. The chords. Kind of has an interesting overtone to it. Why don't we make a little loop just using Minimax only? We'll see what that sounds like. Let's do it slow. You can layer as many different parts for each preset as you like. So I'm actually going to continue to overdub over the lead. First, I'm going to change my octave. Let's go down an octave, and let's add to it. We'll add a little bass. I'm just making all this up as I go. That's kind of the whole idea, though. Let me take this opportunity to show you another gesture. So this is called radiate, when I move my finger in and out from the center. Different presets will respond in different way, whether it's volume, an envelope, filter. This one's got quite a bit going on. Let's keep adding to my little song here. So just one example there for you. Let's see. Folks, what other questions do we have before our next guest comes in? I'm seeing some great questions in the chat about our Android app. Right now we have an Android app that is in public beta. Everybody's welcome to join it. And I'm sure that one of my teammates will drop the link for that in the chat if you haven't already applied. If you applied and you haven't heard back yet, apologies. There's a chance something fell through the cracks. Never our intention. Just drop us a note and we'll make sure that you have access to that. Thank you. I'm hearing some wonderful questions about using Orba as an MPE controller, as a MIDI controller in general. After we have our next guest, Oora, who we'll see in just a moment, we will absolutely dive in. I have a Logic session that I want to use specifically for that. Let's watch a video, because this is an artist that actually has quite a few that I want to use specifically for that. Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello.
How are you doing?
How are you doing?
All good, all good.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
It's Federico, right?
Yes. Hi, nice to meet you.
It's good to meet you as well. Federico, you go by Oora. Am I pronouncing that right?
It's actually Oora.
You know,
I realize that in this country everybody will pronounce it Oora. So I guess I get to get used to that.
no. Well, I don't want you to get used to it. Your name is important to me, and that's why I asked. I'm sorry I said it wrong. So because Oora makes sense.
It doesn't actually make any sense. It just doesn't have any meaning. So it's
Well, when I think of the word aura, I think of like an aura, and your music has an aura. Certainly has an aura to it.
yeah. The sounds, yeah, it's kind of remind me that too. So it works.
Well, I'm going to be the one that on Monday morning in the Artiphon office, which is, of course, a digital office, I'm going to say, everyone, we were saying Federico's artist name wrong, and it's Oora, and I need you to update that in your mind moving forward, and we will never get it wrong again.
I support this battle.
Federico, you're calling in from Brooklyn, is that right?
Yes.
Beautiful. For those of you who don't know, Oora, Federico, makes these amazing videos which are so serene. Federico, I'm sharing a photo which you can't see in our chat, but the YouTubers can see it, of what your Instagram looks like, because it's the most beautiful lighting. And why don't you tell us a little bit like what you do in general? What do most of your posts? What are most of your videos?
It's kind of been an interesting time lately because I started really posting regularly and creating more electronic music since we've been in lockdown since March. So I had a lot of time to kind of dig in deeper into electronic music and a lot of ambient music. that allows me to kind of look for a certain visual and vibe that all my posts have, and things are getting nice. Like I hope I'll start playing live again soon, but that's, I guess, it's a mystery right now. And I have a lot of time lately to explore all of this kind of new products and things. So it's a pretty exciting time.
What has everybody has a different approach to how they've still managed to make music and be an artist in 2020. You haven't slowed down at all. How have you had to adjust your workflow and what you do?
First of all, I've been lucky enough to have the time and the means to do that. But basically, it kind of changed the approach lately, being more of a improvisation and performative kind of thing. So I don't spend a lot of time in producing on a DAW, but I'm a bit of a nerd and geek, so I have a lot of stuff, and I like to experiment, put things together, synths and different effect pedals, and see what come out, and usually do very simple recording with just a stereo track out of the mixer, and that's it. So with this kind of more freeing approach to me, I start producing a lot of more music, and producing more music means also that the quality got better, I think, and this worked out fine. Like before, I was more concerned about producing every single sound and find the right thing, the right kick, whatever, and it never worked very well for me.
I can understand that. What I want to do, if you don't have any objections, I actually want to play one of your videos for everybody watching. We got about 60 people watching, a little more than that, and I think that they're really going to love it. I'm going to play your most recent one. I don't think you'll see it, so you and I are just going to sit for a minute while this plays, and then we'll talk about it. But just so you know, it's the one with the LEM from Mastro Valvola.
Mastro Valvola, Italian.
You say that guy. You said that much better than I did. I took Italian in college. It didn't go all that well, and so thank you for the repronunciation. So I'm just going to let this play for just a minute. Wow. All right, I hope everybody watching saw that. Whenever I watch any of your videos, the feeling I get is calm. I feel like very serene and peaceful watching them. Is that something you go for, or is that just me?
Yeah, I think so. I have two kind of line of work lately, and one is more the ambient thing, that it's very, very simple. So I'm very happy that it works and people likes it, because sometimes to me it's just super basic, but I guess it works when it's simple and when it reach heart and mind. And then I also work on a more I'd say darkish techno acid ambient kind of situation. That is the one that I bring out in live usually, and then that is a little more on the dark side, so I balance the two different visions.
That's fantastic. How does Orba compare, or how is it different than the other synths that you have in your workflow? Or another way to ask the question is, you're using Orba as the starting point of a lot of your creations, and then adding pedals to it to change the sound. And as like a signal generator, as a starting point, as you know, as a synthesizer, what has it changed for you?
So I have, in this case, again, two different approaches. If I go for the simple, more ambient thing, I like to build first something with a synth, and could be in this case the Orba, and then I pair it with I have a lot of pedals, and usually I look for something wild, like I like pedals that have character, and so I kind of try to build a sound and record that sound like done, that I don't have to do anything back in post-production. What I really like of the Orba, it's portable and it's small, and like you can bring it wherever you want, so that's amazing. It's a great controller, so even with Ableton, I don't play live with Ableton, so I can't really enjoy that part, but I tried the template and it's pretty amazing what you can do with that. But I'm planning to use it live, and like with to have like some instruments that you can play live, because for me, I come from bands and I come from guitar, and whenever I'm on stage with just synthesizer, I always lack the sensation of playing something, and this is like could be a good medium to get back to that, and you play your things, the sequence are going, but you have something you play in your hand. So it's kind of bring back the fun of doing something, I guess, and then it's plenty of cool sounds, and I guess ever-growing library. So I'm pretty sure it's pretty fun to have it. I was planning to have two, like, so I can change different things, and I guess it also had some visual things that sometimes in a live people don't really want to see you just turning knobs. So I think it's a cool idea to have an instrument, kind of. So it feels like an instrument.
Having two is actually a lot of fun. I don't have two here right now, but just being able to play drums on one and bass on another at the same time, or whatever it is actually just such a blast. When we were at NAMM, back when people went to places, this was early this year, we had 4 all connected and all playing different sounds. And to do an Orba jam with 4 people is so much fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. It's also super. It's very immediate and very simple to use. Like even somebody, I give it to my wife just to try, and she could play. And so I don't believe in like. Of course, you need to learn technique when you learn an instrument, but I also love the idea of play. Like I play like a kid. So this kind of instrument just gives you the freedom of just turn it on, have some fun without a lot of preconceived idea that you need to learn too much. And then from there, you can, of course, bring it somewhere else. But it's fun.
Yeah,
so
it's funny you say that. One of the things I like so much about your videos is like, I'm so used to hearing the Orba sounds and the Orba metronome even, and then I hear it through your pedals and through the signal chain that you invent, and it's the same sound, but it's not. It piques my ears. I'm like, oh, wait, I know what that is, but then it's completely different.
Yeah, that is a fun thing. There's in that video particularly, I had received that pedal from this Mastro Valvola. This is a builder in Italy, and that I like to support because it's trying to grow in the synth community too. And the bass, the kick, and the metronome actually work out pretty well as a part of the entire thing. So I left it as is.
That's like how people used to be so used to the Pro Tools metronome, they used to put it in their tracks.
Yeah.
Not the prettiest sound in the world.
No.
What I'd like to do, Federico, is I'd like to play one more of your Instagram videos. And this is one with Octatrack, so that you know what we're looking at. And this is another one of my favorites. So I'm just going to play it for everybody, and you can just sit back and relax for 60 seconds. Right, that was another one. Do you so Federico, you weren't able to see that. You knew the video I was talking about though, with the octatrack where you're holding Orba in your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about what went into the process of that particular video?
That one, if I remember, was just like a looping live with the octatrack in that case. I think it was the day that I received it, so one of the first jam. I don't remember really what was about that, but in that case, I was looping the Orba inside the octatrack because I didn't learn yet the looper function, and most of my things when I play analog they are all MIDI synced. So I'm thinking how I can sync that to the analog gear, but probably there's some way. So I can't really use yet the looper with that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Federico, we won't keep you too much longer. I'm just going to show our audience your SoundCloud. You have a very robust, awesome SoundCloud where you're very active, and there's just some beautiful music on here. Where else can people listen to your music? Obviously, you're massive on Instagram, so everybody's going to go follow you there. Where else can people connect with you?
Well, there's the Bandcamp and SoundCloud mainly, and there's Spotify too. So basically these three, and it's all Oora Music or Oora. Just if you do a search on my Instagram, there's all the link to it. And I just released an ambient album 10 days ago, last week.
Congratulations!
Like thank you. And a new cassette is coming. That's still a secret though, but coming soon. Another project that I'm very proud of. And yeah.
Well, thank you. Well, we don't need to keep you too much longer. I'm sure you have lots of videos to go make and new pedals to try out. And
Sure.
it looks like it's dark in New York City already.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Yeah,
still bright here in Nashville. We're just 800 miles west of you guys, so it'll be like that soon. Federico, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful night, and please keep making music. We love it.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Be well. So again, that was Oora. We're not going to call him Oora ever again. Federico is his first name. Just so fantastic. Everything he makes is just absolutely, you lose yourself in it. And I think that that's so cool. I saw a number of questions come in specifically about looping on Orba. And I think I can answer a few of them pretty fast. So I'm going to do that, and then as promised, we'll get into some MIDI stuff. I'm going to use the microphone again, just because it's right here. Unless I hear you guys say that you strongly prefer the direct line, in which I'll switch. I got them both right here. Again, there's a lot of wires. So let's start by clearing the track. Hold A, press record. This was one of our first lessons of the evening, if you recall. There shouldn't be anything on here. Let's make sure. Press play. Nothing. The first question is, how many bars do you have? And that's completely dependent on how long you play. So I'll go to drums. First of all, it won't start recording until I start playing. So I could go get a cup of coffee right now. Whatever I have to do. Once I play my first note, it's game time. Gotta stay focused. I'll even do another one. So that was a pretty long one. 4 total bars. But just to show you how long you can do it, and of course you can even go longer than that if you like. Oh no, I just saw a chat from Federico said he wanted to do a little jam. I totally missed that. That would have been amazing. I wonder if he would want to join back in. What's the maximum number of bars? Somebody asked. There technically isn't one. It probably won't go forever, without encountering some kind of a problem. So manage your expectations. But with that said, there's no actual limit, and I can add to that and add to that and add to that as much as I want. Can you put hardcore guitar sounds on this? That's a very, very good question. So for those of you who don't know, Orba is a synth and a looper and a MIDI controller. What it's not is a sampler. So everything that you're hearing so far actually isn't a sample. Even the drums are synthesized drums. We built an audio engine specifically for Orba so that we could do all of these amazing gestures and different things. So it doesn't play hardcore guitar samples, but of course we could spin knobs until we get something just as fun, and that's very doable. If you wanted to play hardcore guitar sounds, you can load whatever you want into your sampler. Logic has a great new quick sampler that they just launched that we play with all the time, and it would be perfect for that. If you're just using Orba as a standalone synth, it definitely has a flavor. The sounds are a little different than what you might expect from GarageBand on your phone or similar. I'm just reading the comments here. So, as promised, why don't we do just a little bit of a MIDI controller session here with Orba? So what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to change my view. Who knows what program this is? Anybody recognize it? GarageBand for adults. This is Logic Pro X. And actually, what I'm going to do first, this is a good little pro tip for those of you who are working with Orba as a MIDI controller. I'm going to turn off the sounds. Why would I turn off the sounds for Orba? Well, it's because it has a synthesizer in it, and I don't want to hear Orba sounds at the minute for the moment. I want to hear whatever I'm doing in Logic Pro. So now I'm going to switch back to Logic. This session, by the way, is available for anybody interested at artiphon.com/downloads. Every sound you hear, unless I say otherwise, is a stock sound, which is great because it's nice and easy. You just crack it open and you're good to go. So let's, if we can, put the view back on Orba here. I don't need this microphone anymore because I'm using it as a MIDI controller, and I hope that you guys can hear that. It should sound like a drum set to you right now. So even though I'm using stock Logic sounds, all of these gestures will still do something interesting. When we were designing Orba, we didn't want it to just be the standalone experience. We wanted everybody to be able to expand past it however they liked. And that's why we mapped all the different gestures to do different things with any sound, whether you're in Logic or GarageBand or Ableton or Pro Tools or something else. I'll try just a few other sounds here. Why don't we build a little track? Because that's really where it all gets kind of fun. A little slow for my taste. Let's speed it up. And where's my Cliq? Won't get very far without that. Nice, and we will just very quickly turn that into something loopable. And you guys don't mind if I just put a little bit of magic on it, do you? I'm not making a record here.
For a spin.
Oh, we got, there's a track in here actually that's going to give me trouble if I don't get rid of it, which is the, there's a little movie that comes with this. So I'm going to show the movie track and get rid of that. You guys have me. You don't need the movie. All right, so now it's just us again. There we go. Not great, not too bad either. Let's keep rolling. So what I really want to show you is some of these other sounds. So if we go to the bass, and I switch to bass on Orba, this is where it gets really fun in my opinion, because I'm able to continue to manipulate the sound even after I play it. So you could hear that I'm adding vibrato when I tilt it like this. We'll try it with this synth as well. And this is the best one. I want to show you guys just how kind of subtle you can be with this. So this one, for instance, we didn't want people to have to like wave their arms like crazy in a coffee shop. We wanted people to be able to like sit down with their laptop and still control the sound in unique ways, but by doing what we call these micro gestures. It's the same with chords. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to, in the Orba app, I feel like I want to try yet again another key. So I'm going to just go Logic Demo, it's the name of the song. And I'm going to go E major. Just to switch it up, just so we're always switching it up. And now I'll go back into Logic. Is anybody out there with familiar with the Nashville number system? I wasn't either. I'm from New York, and when I got to Nashville, everybody said, "Oh, the Nashville number system, the Nashville number system." I had no idea what they were talking about. And then I realized that what they meant is just like Roman numerals in music, like the 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 5 chord, and the 1 chord. And so that's how we designed the chord mode on Orba. So if you were playing along with the song and it was in 1/4, 1, 5, 6, 4 or similar, all you have to do is 1, 6, 5, 4. I'm dying for somebody to make like a Christmas sing-along book for Orba, or a song of public domain classics or something like that, where all we have to do is follow along with the numbers. So if anybody out there in YouTube land wants a project, I think that'd be great. And good news, everybody. I think that our buddy Federico is back, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if that's the case, if he's on the call. I hear something over there. He is back. Look at that. Hey, man, I'm really sorry about that.
No, I didn't know. I prepared like this little jam, and that was just an impromptu thing. So, yeah, I'd like to play it if you guys want.
Oh, that's, yeah, absolutely. Without a doubt, we would love to hear it.
Okay, I'm gonna switch to my sound card so you won't hear my voice. Let's see if it works. And please let me know if it works.
That sounds good. I'm gonna clap on behalf of the dozens and dozens of people watching right now. That was beautiful. We don't have your sound card back yet, but that's okay. We can wait patiently. That was absolutely gorgeous. I have people texting me saying,
Hello.
This is their favorite show.
Yeah, just very improvised, but yeah, it's really fun. So passing through this dub delay, creating all of those spatial kind of things with just the drum part, and then it allows you to have all of the fun playing I was playing the lead, the chord, I played everything, but heavily affected, but it's really matched with my kind of a workflow. So it's really fun.
That's gorgeous. And thank you for popping back in. Where everything is improvised here tonight, so I'm glad that you rejoined us. It means a lot.
Yeah, I was really eager to play something for you guys. Okay.
All right.
Thanks again.
Thanks again, man. Pour yourself a drink. Well deserved.
Bye.
Talk soon. All right, everybody. That was Federico once again. In just a moment, we're going to have another special guest. Seems like I upset somebody by making the screen go black for 1 second. It is actually a massive conspiracy. Just kidding. I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing in the background. So, but it's handled now. So we're looking great on time. Federico is such an amazing musician, so I'm so happy that he got to do that. I'm expecting any moment to be joined by Lisa Vazquez, who's a beat maker, a producer, and a vocalist. Show of hands, if you already follow her on Instagram, or if you've heard some of her work. We're all going to get to know her extremely well in just a second here. I saw a few other good questions come in. Please keep asking questions because it tells me what I should be demoing for you guys. Does Orba quantize? On its own with the app right now, there isn't a quantize feature, but it's a feature request that we've heard quite a bit. And that's no joke. We really do take all of the feedback we hear and we push it right back to the products team, and we incorporate the feedback into the decisions that we make every single day. So if that's something you feel like you're missing, we're very interested in the musical experience you want to have. So Obviously, when I connect to Logic or Ableton, quantizing is just a button away, so I can do that quite effortlessly. But it's a good question. It's a good question. There's another question. Is Orba available in Canada yet? No, but it will be soon. Please call your favorite Canadian music retailer and let them know that you're interested. Absolutely. Absolutely was sublime. There was another question about the A button on Orba, and I thought maybe while we wait for Lisa to come, I would just give you a quick little rundown of what the A button does. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the MIDI controller demo for just a moment, and I'm going to come back into Orba App World. So I just turned the sounds back on Orba. I'm going to mute whatever channel I was on over here. And let's see. All right, so now we just have Orba. And let's see. I'm going to put the mic back on. So you guys are hearing Orba's speaker right now. And I think that'll just make this demo a little bit easier. The light's looking a little hot right now. How's that for you guys? Is that satisfactory? So let's learn everything that the A button does. The first thing it does is it changes modes. So I can switch from drum to bass to chord to lead. Let's say I wanted to go straight from drum to lead. I don't have to go bop, 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 bop. I can actually go hold A and press lead. Or if I want to go from lead to bass, hold A and press bass. If you're really slick and you want to get really good, this is what you do. You go A and you slide up like this. Slide to drum. That doesn't have a name yet. That's just a little technique. Don't forget Orba's only a few weeks old, so nobody's been playing it that long, even me. And then we have the other side of Orba, and these are all of our looping functions. So we have, if I hold it up for you guys to see on this side, and the webcam focuses, we have play, pause, record, BPM, and octave. So if I go to play, pause, it'll play whatever song is on there. Currently there's not a song. If I go record, that will start the recording. BPM is how I adjust my BPM. And I think I showed you guys a little bit of how to adjust the octave as well. Now, I just heard a very exciting ding in the background, which means I think we have a special guest. Let's see if that's true. Hello, Lisa.
Hello. But can you hear me is the question.
Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear you. Okay, yeah, because I was having a little issue. But okay, you can hear me great.
Yeah, we can hear you fine. Lisa, thank you so much for taking the time to call in. You might not know me. I'm Adam. I think
we met maybe at NAMM. Did you go to NAMM in January?
Yeah, that would have happened. Maybe we did meet there.
Yeah, I'm sure it was very briefly, and you met like 10,000 people there, and or whatever.
I kept getting pulled away for a little bit during that show. So there's a chance we met. I hope we did. Either way, it's great to see you again. And
yes.
And thanks for being here. I love your background, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm at this. It was a music conference that in San Diego, and it's like label heads, and then a bunch of artists that like interviews and stuff with Sway in the Morning and stuff. It was a really fun event, and so been here since Friday night. Yeah. So,
that's wonderful.
First getaway in a while.
And you're relatively new to California, is that right? Seattle originally, and now
Portland, actually.
Portland, got it.
Yeah.
My bad. You know, I'm from New York, so all of those cities are exactly the same thing to me. You know what I mean?
Right. I know. It's like when somebody says they're from New Jersey, I automatically think New York, and they're like, no, it's actually different.
Oh,
places.
yeah, that's cold. We'll call it even. New Jersey's actually a wonderful place. We are all inclusive here at Artiphon. Wherever you're from, you're welcome here. So, Lisa, you've made some amazing Artiphon content already, and not only with Orba, but with our first product, Instrument 1.
Yes.
Which one do you like better? Just kidding. Don't answer that.
I was like, I wasn't ready.
No. But we really appreciate how long you've been in our orbit. It's amazing to be able to call on such a talented producer like yourself on a Sunday night and have you answer the phone. So it really does mean the world.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, definitely appreciate you guys as well. You know, doing the work you do and getting these products out to people, and they're affordable too, which is another thing that a lot of analog gear is not affordable for the common person.
Yeah, that's true. So, you know, we have dozens of people watching, which is amazing. A lot of them might already know you. Many of them probably don't. I'm wondering if you have such an amazing track record career. Would you just give kind of the 30-second or superhero origin story for Lisa Vazquez and let people know who you are and where you come from and who you've worked with, especially?
Origin story. Yeah. So I guess like what I'm doing now as a producer, I've only really been doing like with the MPC and live looping stuff, which is primarily what I do now. I've been doing for about 8 years or so, but I've been a musician for, you know, like 20 plus years, 25 years probably, and toured a bunch. I've been entering into beat battles more in the last like few years, and that's been really crazy. Like I did the Goldie Awards a few years ago, was one of the finalists, got flown out to New York, and it's an event put on by A-Track, and yes, they just flew out the finalists from all over the world, and so I performed in front of some of my idols like Just Blaze and LP, Mark Ronson, you know, the list goes on. It was a really crazy event there, and definitely that spearheaded a bunch of different things after that. I've judged a bunch of beat battles since then, and done extensive touring around the country, as well as more recently, I also do some teaching, like music production lessons, and I've been teaching overseas occasionally, which has been really great. Like I went to, right before COVID, luckily I got it in, but we went to El Salvador and taught some kids at different workshops around there in El Salvador, which was amazing. And I really like that kind of work because it breaks me away from the artist game. Like it's great and all to be able to express yourself, but it sometimes feels just like a little too self-serving, or just like you're too in your head and overthinking about stuff a lot of times. But when you're teaching, it breaks you out of that, and especially when it's with kids, like there's something about that, and you see the lighting up in their eyes of like showing them, you know, how to make music with technology and stuff like that. It's extremely rewarding. So been really lucky to be able to do that more recently. And I put out some music recently, and intend to definitely put out some more and tour again once the world allows us to do so.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's amazing how resilient artists are, especially the artists that we work with. And I mean, obviously it's been hard for everybody, but they haven't missed a beat, no pun intended. So that's very impressive and very powerful to hear. Thank you for that. So I couldn't help but notice, Lisa, that you do have your MPC in front of you. There's absolutely no pressure. Were you thinking you might want to play something, or am I? Because everybody would absolutely love to hear that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I would be happy to. Let's see if I got the right stuff loaded up here real quick. Add one program here. Because I actually just did a live stream about a little less than an hour ago.
Oh my God.
And it was totally, I didn't mean to double book myself kind of with this, but I mean, it worked out perfect timing wise.
Double header. Only in 2020 would you do a double header live stream event.
Yes, of course. I know in real life we couldn't really do that, like having to jump around different venues.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
We could do that. Okay, let's see. And make sure we get my synth working. And this is not. Why is it not working?
So, folks, for those of you who don't know, Lisa's an absolute master on the MPC. She's got an Instagram video which I will show when we hop off the phone with her a little later, where she's actually controlling her MPC with Orba via Bluetooth, completely wirelessly, which is unbelievable. And it's like that was like something we were like, I hope somebody does this one day. And then you came through and you did it without asking even too many questions, which is so impressive.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. I'm just like the audio real quick. Hopefully that works. Can you still hear me?
It actually sounds about 300% better all of a sudden.
What was that?
It sounds much better all of a sudden.
Oh, well, that's great.
It sounded like
Yeah,
it sounded a little bit like a cell phone before. Now it sounds like you're right next to us.
Oh, good. Okay. And now the only thing, let's see if I can turn on the speaker, because I can barely hear you, but I guess if I'm just performing, then
Should we just do I'll just do hand signals.
Okay, now I'll just okay, that works now. And you can hear that just okay? All right, we're in this. All right, so I'm just gonna do like just kind of a little demonstration of a little bit what I do. So yeah, I played the beat. I made this beat, you know, from on the MPC, and I'm gonna be doing some live looping with my looper I have here. And as he said, with the video that he's about to show after this, there's I can Bluetooth the Orba to the MPC, but I don't have that handy, unfortunately. But you will see that later.
We're loving it.
Okay.
We're loving it.
All right, little demo.
I'm clapping for everybody. I'm clapping for the dozens of people in the chat. 45 people watching, and everybody loves it. It sounds beautiful, Lisa. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I'm curious to know what one of the things I would really like to do is show off that video I was just talking about. Before I do, I was wondering if you could just set the stage for it a little bit, and you could tell people what went into the video. The one obviously where you're using Orba to Bluetooth to your MPC Live. These people can hang, so you can get as detailed and as technical as you like. I won't use the word nerdy again, but we're all synth and MIDI and audio nerds here. So before I play this amazing video, will you tell us how you did it and why you did it, and just color it in a little bit?
Yeah, so basically, and the beauty of this is that I don't even have to get like super technical with it. It was really easy, surprisingly. But so within the MPC, there's a Bluetooth feature, and I've had issues with it connecting with other devices and stuff before, so I was very happy to see that it actually worked with the Orba. And with that, I just, I go into the settings on the MPC and click on the Bluetooth, and then it comes up just like any Bluetooth device would, and paired it up. And then instead of using my pads for the melody, I could just hit the Orba, and then it would trigger the machine. And the thing that's cool about that is, like, for example, when I was going in on the bass, there's that function where it's like, it's not quite a pitch bend. I don't even know what you guys call it, with a tilting feature.
We call it tilt.
Like, what's it called?
We call it tilt. You had it.
Oh yeah. Well, the tilt, but what does it do? I mean, does it actually is it a pitch bend, or what happens?
Tilt controls, if you don't set it to do anything differently, tilt will control mod wheel, CC number 1.
Okay. Yeah. So that's basically what I was doing with, I had just a synth pulled up for that, and then using the tilt feature, just kind of like add a really cool effect. And somebody pointed out in one of the comments on, I don't remember where the video was posted, but how, I could go out in the audience or something like that, like during a live setting, and that would be like a really kind of cool thing to be able to do. Or sometimes I don't really want my hands super tied up, locked in right in front of here for whatever reason. And I could just, it's basically then just like wireless pads, I could just walk out anywhere while I'm singing or something, just start triggering stuff. It's good, endless possibilities, I guess, there with fun you could have with that. And the fact that it's Bluetooth and doesn't need to be, yours is battery powered. It's just like the MPC Live. I could literally take this out, and I have a Bluetooth speaker, same thing. No wires. I could go out on the top of a mountain somewhere and just like play.
That's wonderful. Cool. It almost makes me want to do like a series, like how remote can you get with Orba, and just see what kinds of places people end up making loops in, whether it's the top of a mountain, like you said, or is it your bathroom, whatever.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's what when I was talking to Jacob at the onboarding, my initial idea was to do that, to take it, somewhere, because I stay right now in the Hollywood Hills, and there's like a really epic view at night, or so just like taking it and doing a video there. I ended up just, doing one regularly in my studio, but I still think that would be a cool idea to just go somewhere, like, hike wherever and take it out. I'll make another video for sure. I'll try to make that the next.
Yeah,
step.
That's a fun challenge for you and for anybody else following along. We got a few people in the audience that have Orbas, and you can never have enough inspiration. So I appreciate that.
Awesome.
Laura, where should people connect with you and follow along?
So pretty much at Lisa Vazquez Music is the Instagram, and I have a YouTube channel as well as Facebook, all the other platforms, and that's Vazquez is spelled Vazquez, which is an uncommon spelling. So
yeah, you can't see it right now, but I'm sharing a screen of your Instagram right now for everybody else.
Awesome.
You can't see it, and I'm gonna play this video in just a second that you explained. So so Lisa, anything else you want to say before we cut you loose and let you enjoy your evening? I'm sure you're exhausted after your multiple live streams.
Yeah, no, just thanks you guys for having me, and definitely anybody that likes beats. Like, I'm pretty much the style of kind of soul hip hop sort of stuff. Think like Madlib, RJD2 meets Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill kind of vibes. Check me out on Instagram. I've been putting out some content both through distribution and just on Bandcamp and stuff. So yeah, check me out at Lisa Vazquez Music, and I hope to see you guys in the real world at some point.
Yeah, us too. All right, thanks so much, Lisa. We'll cut you loose. Enjoy your night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And while she hops off, we're going to play this little video for you guys. I just think this is the cat's pajamas, as they say. All right. Just let that fade out. So, that's Lisa Vasquez. Isn't that awesome? See how dark it got? You guys remember when we started this thing? Did not plan the lighting appropriately. Here we go. How are we looking? You guys are awesome for hanging out all evening. It's looking a little crazy right there. We needed to set up a key light. I didn't realize we'd be going so late into the night. Isn't she absolutely fantastic, though? I love that. And we have 2 more guests, actually, this evening. There are some amazing questions coming in the chat. One person just said hipster talk, which obviously I appreciate immensely. Somebody else said wrist braces, which I don't know what that means. But somebody did say, how do you customize presets? And that's something that I can help with. So why don't we talk about that just for a second? So here's the Orba app. And let's say that I wanted to set this up with a certain set of sounds and bring it with me, whether that's on the bus or to a gig when we have gigs again. I happen to know what these sounds all sound like because I've been playing them for a while. You'd obviously click around and choose a couple favorites yourself. I like these boomy booms drums. It kind of reminds me of an MGMT thing. For bass, I'm going to choose... Oh, no, actually, I just got inspired to do something different. I'm going to set this up completely differently. I'm going to go ohm. Ohm is our ambient set of presets. Actually, no, it's not. Ambient is our ambient set of presets. It's getting a little late for me, folks, if you can't tell. Ohm is supposed to be our meditative, relaxing set of sounds. So let's see if that's true. So I just loaded up ohm for drums, and let's hear what those sound like. I'm going to turn on the Orba mic. So again, this is hearing Orba's speaker. You hear how different that sounds from the other presets we've been using so far? There's some great questions about wellness and therapy. This is where my mind goes when I think about using music to bring a little bit of balance and relaxation into everyday life. So those are the ohm drums. I feel better already. And then for bass, let's do ohm again. So maybe I feel like mixing and matching. Maybe I will try the ambient bass. Yeah, so now we have ohm drums, ambient bass. For chord, I will choose ohm. Let's see what that sounds like. Here it kind of has a bell-like tone. Very inspired by singing bowls and the like. For lead, we're going to choose... Let's hear what the ohm lead sounds like. Let's hear what the ambient lead sounds like. So I just mixed and matched. I did 2 ambients and 2 ohms. They're both more on the side of relaxing, dark, moody, slow. Now I can unplug completely and disconnect from the app. You'll see it just disconnected. And I can now take this anywhere I want, and those sounds will be loaded. Turn it up a little bit. Should we make a little peaceful loop here? Not a very peaceful click. Let's slow that down. Maybe I don't want to record anymore. I just want to let that play and have some fun playing over it. I'll switch to bass. Who thought we were going to go here tonight, huh? Somebody's saying they wish the motions of the device were mappable. Everything that you've heard so far is it's just MIDI. Let me show you guys something that I think you'll be interested in. If you've been hanging out this long, I think that means you can probably hang. So this is the Orba manual, the online version of it. What I'm actually going to do is go, I believe it's all the way down here. And there is in here, if I can find it, a map, MIDI mapping map, which shows what the gestures all do. So you can do this with your DAW. So if you wanted to use move, that's just CC13. Obviously, we talked a lot about tilt tonight because it's so simple. It's one of the more obvious ones. So that's CC1. Bump is like a note, but you could send that note anywhere you wanted to. Radiate, which is the one where we go in and out from the center, is CC74, normally mapped to brightness. So all of these things are completely mappable in your DAW. Somebody on my team actually answered the question better than I did. There is a set of utility presets designed to make gesture mapping even easier. And that's accessible if you go to our downloads page. I'll just show you where this is. We spent a lot of time building up the back end for Orba to make sure people had whatever resources they needed to make the music they wanted to make. And that can be found right here. And with that said, I just heard a ding, a very exciting ding, because I think that means that our next guest has joined us. Let's see if that's true. Laura, if you can hear us, we're here. Currently, I'm just seeing a gray screen. Could just be she's getting set up. So we'll give her a second on that. I'll just finish what I was saying. The utility presets here are designed to isolate Orba's MIDI output. I'm literally just reading this right now. One gesture at a time. So these are presets you can download and put into your Orba desktop app so that you can map things more easily.
Hello, hello, can you hear me?
Hello, yes we can.
All right, cool. I have a dual system set up, so I'm going to just do a presentation on the second screen, if that's cool.
Totally. You sound great. I'm not surprised Laura has a fancy setup. She is a pretty impressive musician, audiophile. We're going to talk a lot more about her and all the amazing things she's done.
Yay. Do you see my screen now? I just click present now.
Maybe we will in a second. Right now, I see a gray. It's just all gray up top, and then your icon below, which is where we're getting your audio. Something just changed.
Weird. Yeah, it says that I'm presenting, but it's not popping up for some reason.
Yeah, it's an interesting gray color.
Huh.
Never quite seen before. Laura, while you continue to work that out, I'll continue to introduce you if that's okay.
Yes, keep going, please. I'll be right there.
But just so everybody knows, Laura and I haven't met, although I know a little bit about her. Laura, I'm Adam, by the way. And you're going to tell me if I have any of this wrong, but it's my understanding you've designed shows for some pretty big names, like Kanye West and The Weeknd and Bon Iver and Childish Gambino and Drake. The thing that I find most fascinating about your resume is that you're an Ableton certified trainer. I promise you that the 50 people watching right now, most of them are in Ableton or love Ableton, or certainly all of them know Ableton better than I do. But Laura is the real deal, and she's actually a certified trainer.
I am. I'm listening to you. I'm just getting out of the meeting and coming in again to see if it'll let me present my screen this time.
Yep. Still not seeing it. Still here. You sound like you got a great microphone though.
Yes, I do. I have an SM7B. So I don't know why Is it a setting? Like, do you have to allow me to present my screen?
No, that shouldn't be it. Maybe you have to allow it to share your screen.
I just clicked present my screen.
A Chrome setting though? Could sometimes it doesn't tell you. You might need to like go into, if you just open up your system preferences and go to security, it might even say like
I'm on a PC for this one.
Oh my gosh. Well then all we can do is hope.
Oh shoot! I might not be able to do this.
What kind of presentation is it?
It's a crazy presentation.
Oh my god! Well now we're all dying to know what this crazy presentation is.
It's absolutely nuts. And when I press present screen, it's not doing anything on your end.
It's nothing I can share for you. Is that accurate?
No.
It was an interesting gray color like I'd never seen before. And I've done a lot of Google Hangouts and a lot of screen sharing. I've never seen this gray before.
Well, that was my camera, and I turned the camera off, but I'm just trying to present my window right now instead of showing the camera, right? Because I'm going through OBS. So
I'm going through OBS. It's my first time.
Amazing. Well, this is not my first time, and I'm bummed that it's not working.
I love it. Is it a security setting with OBS?
No, I'm just actually trying to present the screen of OBS, so it doesn't actually have anything to do with OBS in this case. Let me just try to leave and come back one more time.
Any questions in the short interim? Are we getting OBS Inception? Maybe. I'm loving this program, by the way. I feel like it's going really great for me. Somebody asked where they can get the Android version of the app. We're dropping the link in the chat. If you scroll up, you'll probably find it. Maybe one of my colleagues could drop it again for you. It is a public beta, so everybody's welcome. We're not being choosy whatsoever. But it is a manual process. Just to add a little context to the situation, we actually have to add everybody one by one. So it's not the kind of thing that we can just do on a instantaneous sort of thing. So I appreciate your patience with that, and we've certainly appreciated everybody's feedback so far with the Android app.
Well, I am just going to...
We got you. I see you. Well, I see you.
Yeah. Oh, bummer. The other one is not working.
Can you webcam your presentation, or is that ridiculous?
It's like a whole green screen, Unreal gaming engine craziness.
Got it.
I promise it was going to be really cool.
No, we're positive it is, and we're all going to see it at some some point, even if it's not this particular evening.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think for some reason Chrome on the PC is blocking my other the presentation for some reason. And I don't know enough about PCs to detect that right now. So anyway, in the interest of time, I don't want to waste everyone's time, but hello, hi.
Hello, everybody. Laura, I did my best to give a little introduction of you, but would you mind introducing yourself just a little bit? You have such an impressive resume, and I just know that the people on this call would be very interested in just even a 30-second version of yourself.
I mean, you did a pretty good job. I have a company called Electronic Creatives. We do live show programming. I'm an artist myself. I'm a producer. Toured for many years, really big into education, love music and technology, love people, love community. I have something called the Transmute Community. It's a group, it's a Facebook group. So if you're interested in nerdy live performance stuff, definitely come join us over there. And yeah, I like to have fun, basically.
Would you, it's my understanding you have an Orba. You have
I do.
the new guy, right? And I'm just curious to know if you, like what your initial reaction is.
It's awesome here, and I'm so sad that I could not show you. You know what? Maybe I could present on this computer, but it's. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna do a video anyway for y'all, so it'll come out in the video and you'll see it there.
Well,
but
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm basically controlling visuals with the Orba. That's what I was going to show you guys today.
Oh, so this crew can hang. This crew's been with us for 2 hours now. So they.
Oh my gosh!
If they're doing anything right now, they're Googling this for you to try and find solutions better than I can.
Someone tell me how to allow Chrome to present in Google Hangouts, because it's saying that it said press present now, and I pressed the button, and now it says you aren't presenting. I'm like, no, duh. Tell me how to present.
That's too bad. But I know.
And
we will be on the lookout for whatever video you make, and we'll share it with the same crew here.
It's super cool.
These people will see it, and we're not worried about a single thing right now.
Can I present? I can present on this computer though.
You're welcome to try whatever you like.
I believe it will work on this computer because it's a Mac. You see that? Are you seeing my screen now?
Hold on, just give me 1 second. Yes, I see Ableton.
Oh, great.
I also do have
Amazing.
one suggestion which I'm going to share in the chat. This is people watching. This is slightly unprofessional. So shield your eyes for a second, but Laura, I just messaged you.
I'm like throwing you loops. Oh, I can stop presenting for a moment. Okay, we can go back if you want.
Well, no, only if I'm into whatever you're doing. I just also got a tip from somebody sent to me, so I just sent it to you via the chat in case you do want to try something different.
Okay, all right. Well, we have someone else in 5 minutes, right? So I don't want to like.
Nope, you're good. My next and final guest is at 7:30, and also these people have all these people. Well, I shouldn't be generalizing the way that I am. I'm just assuming everybody's as excited as I am to have you on the call.
and I was so excited to show you this. Okay, so I don't see in the chat anything. Are you talking about the YouTube chat or the chat here? Because I can't see the YouTube
Google
chat.
Hangout chat. Oh, sorry.
I don't see that.
Sorry, I might have given you the wrong thing. So it just says from your screenshots, it looks like a Google Docs document in the tabs. It's the same window as the meeting, so you maybe have to separate the tab.
This is a different kind
of thing.
Oh wow, you see all of my tabs. That's crazy.
I actually can't see all of your tabs.
I've never done a presentation where everyone can see all my tabs. Now you know what my brain is like.
That's actually not what I'm seeing. All I'm seeing right now is Ableton.
Oh, amazing. Okay, cool.
All everybody's seeing right now is Ableton. They can see all of my tabs, which is fine. It's all just videos of people using the Orba, so there's nothing too incriminating right now.
Okay, cool. Well, so that's a great suggestion, but the computer that you're seeing this on right now is not the computer that I'm trying to present on. So thank you for that suggestion, but that is not going to work because on the Windows computer, it actually is on a completely separate situation.
What do you have up right now? Because I'm interested in all the colors. Yeah, I'm just going
to show what I have here, and then we'll forget about my amazing presentation I was going to do. Okay, so what I was going to show you is how I have the Orba controlling my visuals. And so what I might be able to do is hold up my screen. Can you see this?
Yeah, I'm going to pin you so we can see a little bit more of it. Yes.
Can you see this screen that I'm holding up here? This is what you are going to see.
It's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're going with it. So when I trigger the Orba here, it's changing the colors and creating nodes in my Unreal Gaming Engine program here.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm triggering this. Yes, this is what you were supposed to be seeing. This here. It would have looked a lot better, but instead we're looking at this. So anyway, and I'm controlling right now. I'm controlling stuff in Ableton, so I can't see what's happening in on YouTube right now. But I don't know if you want to switch to the Ableton screen, and I can kind of show what was going on there.
Got it.
Sweet. Okay, so in live, I've got the Orba controlling this cello effects instrument that I actually made. So it's a free download actually online from my website and all that good stuff. So when I play the Orba and turn it, I'm bringing the delay up here, the morph delay. And I've also got the reverb freeze going when the mappings all don't say what they're mapped to anymore for some reason, but I believe it's when I shake it. Yes.
Hey, that's crazy.
Yes. So, and then I also have it controlling my Moog at the same time.
We have a lot of Moog fans in the audience. They said so. They self-identified.
And so I'm controlling the video, which is the thing that I showed you earlier, and this instrument and the Moog all at the same time.
And how are you connected right now? I don't see a wire. So you're
yes, Bluetooth.
And you're using Ableton to do all of this routing.
I am. Yeah. So if we look in here, I am using the new Ableton utility that I just got from y'all, which is super cool. And then I've just mapped a couple things to the parameters here, like the LFO pan, the morph delay, and the reverb freeze. And I also, I can change. I was actually trying to get the bump to change the sample selector, which it does, but then it goes back to 0. So I got to figure that one out, because it'd be very cool if, like, every time I hit it, it changed the sample.
That's interesting.
And then,
so
I think that'd be super cool.
You don't know this, but a dozen people just pushed the glasses up onto the bridge of their nose and started working on that.
Amazing. Yes, let's do it. Y'all are great, by the way. Thanks to the team at Artiphon just for being awesome and forward thinking and having me do this. And yes.
We appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Yeah. And also, everyone else that's been on this thing is really amazing.
It's
and
fun.
Hitters,
it's fun, right? Yeah, there's a lot of heavy hitters tonight. I feel quite special doing it. Laura, for those of us who don't know, and I'm one of them, can you tell us what being a Ableton certified trainer means and what goes into it, and how that happened for you?
Yeah, I mean, it just means that you're a super fan of Ableton. And just really good at learning Ableton and teaching Ableton and sharing Ableton knowledge, basically. So I'm a super fan, definitely. But I used to work at Ableton a long time ago.
Oh, awesome.
So that's how I got into it. It was back in 2007, 2008. I was a product specialist, and then I became a certified trainer. And so that was quite some time ago, and spent many years touring and doing all that. And contrary to popular belief, I was not teaching Ableton to Kanye or any of the artists that I work with. They're like, so you were teaching? No. They don't care. They just want it to sound like they want it to sound like. And so that was my job, was to make it sound like they wanted it to sound. And sometimes, during the middle of the show, changing all kinds of things, doing different vocal effects, or, programming different sounds, or editing the songs, or what have you. So it was super fun.
When I see somebody who really knows Ableton move around in Ableton, it's like watching some kind of wizardry for me. 'Cause it's not my DAW, but I've seen people just absolutely shred in it.
There's some shredders.
Everybody at Artiphon if they play music, has like their DAW of choice, you know. So if there's like an Ableton question, it's like go to the Ableton guy, and if there's a Logic question, you go to the Logic. So everybody's kind of got their the DAW they wear on their sleeve.
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah. So big fan of y'all's, and I feel like what I wanted to show is the fact that I can control the visuals from like anywhere. And so when I'm like triggering things right now by bringing it up, random triggers, it's music concrete. But when we go back to performing live, hopefully soon, I am going to be bringing my Orba, because I can literally be anywhere on the stage and be controlling the visuals or anything else. And so that's what I really like about it. And that's, one of the great things about having something that's wireless and Bluetooth. And so just the ability to kind of like take this anywhere on stage, and like, I can have also my Wii controller and do like vocal effects at the same time, and then like control the visuals. So that's what I like to do.
That is far out. I got a kick out of that.
Yes,
it was really
Bluetooth.
It was really surprising. Yes. Yeah, that's crazy.
Thank you.
Laura, I can't wait to see what you do next with Artiphon and outside of the Artiphon collaboration as well. So thank you so much for sharing your music. We're all dying to see that presentation. If you hop in the YouTube chat, there actually are people trying to help.
My gosh!
With also your with also your bump challenge that you gave them. People are getting pretty creative there. So
amazing, cool.
So
yes, if anyone knows how to turn on the presentation on my PC,
yep,
I would love you. And
we're sharing. My team member Jacob, who's in the chat room, is sharing all of your socials.
Jacob.
Yep, Jake. Shout out to Jacob, who is the ringleader behind the scenes. Currently not pictured, but keeping the artists coming all night. And we have one more to come. So Laura, we're gonna cut you loose.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking just a moment of your time tonight to spend with us. We really do appreciate it.
Have a good night, everyone.
Be well.
Peace. Bye.
Wasn't that great? So we do have one more guest. They'll be on at 7:30. That's Shadow Cliq, also known as Annie Shred, also known as Annie and Danny. I am happy to show you guys anything and everything that you like before then. So I haven't shown any instrument one yet, and I'm happy to do a little bit of that. If you have Orba specific questions, we'll do that as well. So I got this instrument one set up. Why don't we spend, even if it's just a moment with it, I think it'll be fun. So I know the lighting's getting a little crazy. It's dark here in Nashville, Tennessee. I don't think it's dark yet on the West Coast. What I thought would be fun is, instead of trying to show you guys everything about Instrument One, I would just show you a few of my favorite things, because we don't have time for too much else. Instrument One is back in stock. It was out of stock for a little while, so that's certainly worth noting. And if you don't have one, we recently did just drop the price to $299, and there's free shipping for a limited time. By the way, with Orba, we're also offering free shipping to anybody who buys tonight because of the Synth Expo. So use the code SynthExpo at artiphon.com to get free shipping on Orba. So with that said, let's hop in. Let's hop in to Instrument One. I'm just going to show you a handful of things that I really dig. Please ask as many questions as you like. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you guys a preset called Smart Strum. So if we look at this is called the Instrument One editor, and as I change the presets by pressing the knob on the Instrument One, it's actually going to change in the preset editor as well. So Smart Strum is pretty interesting, and what it does is it is kind of like an auto harp or similar. And I'll pull up a sound in Logic. Let's just go with this string ensemble. If you guys can hear that. So actually kind of similar to the chord mode on Orba. What this is doing for me is it's giving me an entire one chord when I press my finger anywhere on the first fret. So I press here, it's going to give me a one chord. There's even numbers along the binding of the instrument for 1, 4, 5, 6. So that Christmas book we were talking about, everybody, that'll work for instrument 1 as well. So how fun is that? I'm going to switch to a piano sound so you can really hear the notes. Now, there's a lot of people who like customization in this chat. So that's really where the instrument 1 shines. Very easy to change the key. I can actually change the key on the spot because there's capos right here. These are our capo buttons. So I just went from C to D to E. So now I can jam in the key of E without having to look at my DAW or do anything else. With all Artiphon products, we're trying to create experiences that if you've never played music before, you'll be able to get something musical right off the bat. And if you are an experienced musician, you're going to have an absolute blast taking it to the next level. And I think SmartStrum is a really good example of that. So I could pull up a synth if I want to. This is a monophonic synth, so it completely changes the way that I'm playing SmartStrum now. I was charging, I'm going to unplug the charger. Don't need that anymore. It has a battery in it. So that's very exciting. Whoops. And let's see, what else can I show you guys? I know that there are a lot of guitarists in the audience, so I'm just going to show you a little bit about how you might use instrument 1 if you are a guitar player. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change my preset. It has presets just like Orba, and now I've just turned my entire instrument 1 into the neck of a guitar. This is something that our next artist knows an awful lot about, and hopefully will show off better than I can. But I'll choose a sound. So I grew up playing guitar, so this is actually really easy for me, because I can do all of the pentatonic scales, all the blues scales that I know, my major scales. So I have all of that right here in the palm of my hands, and it's especially fun like if you were wanting to put like a synth bass on a track, but you didn't necessarily want to play it on the keyboard. You wanted to get something that sounded a little bit different. So that's very fun. And don't forget, I can change my preset so I can play any of these sounds with any preset. So I could also SmartStrum the first preset I showed you with this bass. Let's take this to the next level if we can. So this is the editor, right? I'm going to choose a simple sound again. I'll choose a piano sound. Back in the instrument 1 editor, I'm actually going to put an ARP on this. So what does that mean? I turn the arpeggiator on, and I press and hold down here. Let's make it go a little bit faster. Did you guys notice that I'm playing left-handed? I'm actually going to put this on always left. We have a few lefties on staff, so when we were shipping instrument 1, we had rigorous left-handed testing. I'm going to show you guys one more preset that I think is really special, specific to instrument 1. I go to these. I know we're getting some lighting issues right now. It's user preset 2. You can actually see if you look at the editor here. And what this is our fretless mode. I'm going to pull up a pedal steel sound. Isn't that pretty? So we talked a little bit about MPE controllers before. This right here is the ability to play and continually affect more than one note at a time. It seems simple. It should be simple. There's not too many controllers out there that can do something quite like this. I can just add a little vibrato, or I can do these big slides. For those of you trying to do this at home, the in-tune spot is kind of right on the fret line. Imagine it's like the steel on your steel guitar. What else can I show you guys? What else are you interested in? A lot of people often have questions about using third-party software. We're big fans of that as well. So far, most of what I've shown you, if it's not Artiphon, it's just built into Logic. But of course, like, I could pull up a Serum patch and play that the exact same way if I wanted to. And of course, we wanted to design an instrument that could be played anyway. So let's say that I did need to finish my track and I was at the airport. Not that people go to airports anymore. And I just wanted to put some drums. I actually play my drums like this. It's funny when you have an instrument that can be played any which way. You begin to kind of develop favorites. So that's just a little bit of instrument one. I just heard a ding, which is a very happy ding. Let's have a look. Should I let them in? What do you think? Let's admit. Hello, hello. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Do we have a guest?
Hey, what's going on?
Hello, hello Annie. Hello Danny. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing great. How are you?
I haven't seen you guys since NAMM, Winter NAMM in sunny Anaheim. I remember peeling an orange off the tree and eating it, and going to a convention with 100,000 people, and
That's right.
not thinking anything of it.
Seems like a dream.
Just before the plague, right?
Yeah. So thank you guys for taking time out of your evening. For those of you who don't know, this is Annie. Also goes by Annie Shred. But really, one of the things that I think is so much fun is that you guys have, right? It's Shadow Cliq is a band. Would you consider it a band? I would consider it a band. And you guys are absolutely exploding right now in this phenomenon known as TikTok, which is so interesting. Would you please just color that in for people? I don't want to give you an intro and say the wrong thing. So like, what do you guys do every day? Like, what will you be doing tomorrow at like 3 p.m.?
I mean, we've taken quarantine as like a full writing session mode for us. We decided we're actually going to be making an album. So yeah, we're Shadow Cliq. It's just the two of us, me, Annie, and Danny. I'm a guitar player as well as a vocalist. Danny is a producer as well as a guitar player and a vocalist, actually. But yeah, we've been just writing like a ton. So we're kind of a crossover between electronic music and rock music, a little bit of trap in there. But yeah, that's what we've been up to, honestly.
Tomorrow at 3 p.m., we'll be drinking iced coffees and sitting in front of Ableton with our instrument one, just making videos, making music, you know?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You guys have been in the Artiphon universe for kind of a little while now, right? I mean, you guys have been around since the Instrument One days for sure, and you guys have taken the Instrument One to a place that we hoped people would, and it's been really exciting. I'm going to pull up in the background a video. You guys can't see it with our screen share, but everybody else watching can. Cool. I'm just going to let this play. So Annie and Danny, this is the video that we made last summer.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
With the shredding, and Danny shreds too on the drum pad. So actually, if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to play like 60 seconds of this, and everybody at home will be able to hear it. You guys won't.
Go for it.
When I was growing up, I was actually the only musical, artistic person in my family. So it's just something I naturally gravitated towards. I just got like super intrigued with piano and then immediately just got obsessed with guitar. I was always really excited.
Cool. I just played the first little bit of it, but it reminded me of just absolutely how killer you are. Obviously, you're the best guitar player in the world, but also I don't think anybody's made those sounds on Instrument One ever. I mean, I just tried to do a little bit of it. Could you tell us, like, you pick up the Instrument One and like what do you plug it into? What sounds do you use? We're interested in everything. Like how does it and how doesn't it feel like your guitar?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you guys supposed to be able to see video or?
Well, what you right now, if you were to open up the YouTube live stream, you would see me on half the screen and you on half the screen.
Oh, word! I just wanted to make sure. I wasn't sure if our camera was set up. Okay, cool.
No, you guys look great.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, so I guess I'll just start with like how I kind of found you guys, because I had been looking for something for a while that would allow me to play like a guitar, but output synths. So Danny and I both went to school for electronic production. We both were in like rock and metal bands and got super into electronic music, and I've been like constantly trying to like fuse the two. So when I first found you guys, I was like so excited at just like the prospect of this, like the whole concept of it. And it's totally like surpassed all my expectations as a guitar player. Because it plays and feels like a neck, but we also are able to utilize it in ways like with like scales, like with an Ableton, like just like, for example, like I'll set it to like harmonic minor in there, and then I can just shred and not even like hit a wrong note. If anyone's a guitar player out there, that's like pretty awesome. It's a different kind of instrument.
I didn't know you did that. That's sneaky.
Yeah, it is sneaky. But yeah, and then another, I guess a huge one for me would be, I feel like a lot of people ask me this, but just like the settings that I use in particular, I'm always in tap mode. I just have a lot of fun with that like 2-tapping technique, because I started out as a piano player, so I kind of translated that to guitar, and then I know I translate that to the Instrument One would be another. And then I feel like Danny could talk about a lot of stuff like the X and Y axis that we use.
Yeah, I mean, overall, this thing is sick. We got it like hooked up.
Whoa.
Might be a little loud for you. But,
no, it's perfect.
Yeah, so we use like Ableton, right? And I do a lot of like custom designs with the sounds. We run this thing through Serum, Omnisphere, Silent. We like mapping the we like this heavy distortion, and then hitting a little kind of feedback stuff where here, if you want to just maybe.
That's insane.
We're gonna.
I'm really prepared, but yeah, that's kind of the idea.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so we like right there, we just like side chain it to some heavy kick drum, and we like doing like metal rock guitar riffs, but in this format, it's just like
the ability to make synths sound like guitar riffs. I feel like if I could put in a sentence, that's what this has given us the power to do, and I was looking for that for like a long time, and it totally solved that for me in a big way. So
what you just played was like the best thing I've ever heard. Like I could listen to that all night.
Thank you so much. We're making an album, so we're trying to make that happen.
Like I'm the kind of guy that if you were to catch me tomorrow at 3 p.m., I'd probably be like listening to like Paul Simon or something like that. But like whenever you guys put something out, like I just listen to it as loud as I possibly can bear, and just get so into it. I just think that it's just the production is always so crisp, and you guys are just so talented. Annie, you're so much fun to watch. It's just been such a pleasure watching you guys just like grow and develop your sound.
Thank you so much. I mean, we feel the same way about you guys, like giving us this like amazing instrument and just being able to work and talk with you guys about it and like just learn about all the new stuff, and with the Orba as well.
Yeah, you guys are really changing the game with all this this stuff.
Absolutely. So we love
Thank
being
you.
able to present.
So on that note, what I want to do now, if it's okay with you guys, I'm going to play. Whoops, it started playing on its own. I want to play your TikTok of Orba, and so that people can watch you guys play Orba, and then we can just talk about it for a second, if that's cool.
Cool.
So you guys won't see this; it'll just play for a minute in the background. Everybody else following the YouTube will watch it. We'll see it. Is that cool?
Totally.
Sounds good.
All right, so I'm gonna press play right now. Amazing. It's just a little short video of you playing Orba. Would you mind, if you remember what you did, would you mind telling us what that was that we just saw?
So that was okay. So
Was
I
that
do remember.
from NAMM, or was that the
No, it was Shadow Cliq, TikTok. I think that there's only one of Annie sitting in olive drab cargo pants and
Yes.
and playing and using the tilt feature.
Yeah, so that was like us like first meeting the Orba, like when it was gifted to us. We had tried it before at NAMM like briefly, but yeah, so that was like a melody I wrote. I think we were playing with some delay, as I remember, and I think we were creating a sound that you were also changing in real time. We didn't get that in the video, but a lot of the times when I'm like improvising or just like writing on the spot, Danny will be like changing, just parameters like filters and bit crush in real time. So that was definitely what was happening in that, as I remember. And then I was also utilizing that the tilt function in addition to that. So we were doing like things at once.
I'm also interested if it's interesting for you guys to talk about like what TikTok is to you guys and how that plays a role. Like a lot of people listening right now are entrepreneurs themselves and interested in social media and putting out music and consuming music and selling music and distributing music in new and creative ways. You guys are kind of writing the book for 2020. Can you pretend like we're in kindergarten and tell us what TikTok is in like a 60-second explanation, and more specifically like why it works so well for you and the music you make?
Absolutely. So first of all, I'd say for any musicians listening that are trying to get their music out there, I would say TikTok is the #1 platform right now to be using, and that's mainly because they don't you don't have to like pay for promotion in the ways that you have to do sometimes in these other places. Like I think Instagram's gotten a bit better, but they sort of don't allow you to see like your followers. TikTok isn't quite as much like that, and it's kind of like when the internet was like new and like you could like throw out a viral video and it would sort of blossom out of nowhere. You could just have like millions of people see something. A lot of different social media platforms sort of like inhibit that in ways, and TikTok is not really one of them yet. So
yeah,
it almost could be like a window of time, like who knows, what could happen. And, people have been talking about it shutting down. But on another note, for musicians, I think there's such a great community on TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's really short clips of videos. So yeah, maybe you could explain that.
Well, people are pretty like positive on that social media app. Everyone's like supportive, and it's like kind of like low pressure. Like it's not necessarily the high fidelity, really well recorded videos that go viral. Sometimes it's the more personable, honest, maybe even a sloppy take.
Yeah.
You don't know what's gonna go viral, so there's way less pressure because it's like what we found out was like, oh, we put a lot of work into this video, but then it's the video that we didn't try so hard that goes viral. So people like that are kind of intimidated by posting, or they can just like throw stuff up, and it's almost like chance what's going to catch on. You don't really know, so it's kind of cool in that way.
What role do you think a brand like Artiphon should have or does have on TikTok? It's new for us as well. I'm honestly just asking you, like musician to musician, marketer to marketer.
Ooh, that's interesting. So like sort of the ways Artiphon could promote themselves to new
Yeah,
users?
I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, but that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great question. I mean, I think like, just having more artists put clips of themselves doing stuff, because I think that's what's most interesting to find is like, I think TikTok is really lenient towards like people being in their bedrooms and like just like, everyday people, like they're, it's not necessarily like the high production stuff that's like getting, crazy amounts of views. And I think that was Danny's point as well.
Yeah.
It's like kids want to see other kids playing with like cool music toys. And I think so the more of that is out there that, it has the proper hashtags, there really are like just like a few hashtags that you could find us on, like all of our videos on.
Yeah.
And, so I would say just more
Very
artists
cool.
utilizing it. Yeah.
I appreciate that. So you guys might not know this, but in the YouTube chat, everybody is saying how much they love your music and wish I played the rest of that video. And Artiphon is dropping all of your links to your Instagram, to your TikTok, to your Spotify. So people are now in your world. I definitely want to at least play one more video. It's the TikTok of this is this the one? I think this is the one. Hold on, let me play it and make sure I'm watching the right one here.
Sure.
This is the one where you caption a new song we're working on. Do you know which one that is? So I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play that for everybody because I thought the music was really great on this one. Hold on, I can't hear it though. Hang in there, everybody. This is like the TikTok. There it is. The TikTok web browser. It's not very smooth.
We know about it.
Yeah. So it's just a little clip, but it's so cool. And just while I'm here, I'll show everybody what the shadow click TikTok looks like. It's not always Instrument One or Orba. They have this crazy green guitar. They have a bunch of guests on. They're hilarious. They have jokes. They have. Didn't you guys do a Rage Against the Machine cover? That's what I'm looking for right now. That went viral just recently. Yeah, here it is. So I'm gonna play this one too. So this is "Killing in the Name of," right? And as you can see, it's got 120,000 views.
Those who died are justified for wearing the badge. They're the chosen whites. Justify those that died for wearing the badge. They're the chosen whites. Those who died are justified for wearing the badge. They're the chosen whites. Justify those that died by wearing the badge. They're the chosen whites. Killing in the name of. Killing in the name of.
So that's amazing. And just a little clip of that, and we get to see Danny playing Instrument One on that, which is fun. You guys kind of trading on and off.
That's right.
Everybody loves that. Obviously, I feel like I can die happy. So any questions you guys have for me or anything that you wanted to share? The floor is completely yours.
We love this instrument. We love what you guys are doing. If there was ever a way that you guys could build a sort of casing to make this look like a flying V guitar, we would rock this like at every concert. And
Oh my gosh, I think
we're trying to build something for it, but
yeah, we had a crazy idea to build like a casing. I think we talked about it with Jacob like a while ago, just as like a brain.
There's a handful out there that people have made themselves. There's like somebody like retrofitted an acoustic guitar for it, and somebody else made like a 3D printed plastic thing. So yeah,
Check that out.
we're
That's
looking
so
for that.
cool.
Yeah.
That's a piece of feedback that we've heard quite often, especially if you use it often and for extended periods of time. You kind of miss being able to lean on the thick body of an acoustic guitar or whatever it is. So that's a great piece of feedback. Really appreciate that.
Sure. Yeah, I guess lastly, I would just say we're like constantly making content right now. So, I mean, if you guys wanted to follow us on our pages, it's at Cliq everywhere. So just Shadow, CLIQ. That's where you can find us on any platform.
Mhm.
An album, and that's where we're at right now. And we'll definitely be using the Instrument One and the Orba.
And everyone watching should go buy an Instrument One.
Mhm.
And an Orba.
Free shipping tonight only. So it's actually good. It's actually a good reminder. I've been extremely unsalesy tonight. This whole meeting could have had a much different tone. Instead, we're lighting candles and talking to interesting people around the country. Well, listen, I don't want to keep you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and chat with us. Please keep making music. Please keep sharing it. The links are being shared, and everybody's going to be able to connect with you guys. I'm sure they will. So thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Thanks, everyone.
Be well. All right, so it's just me, Adam, the director of marketing at Artiphon. I'm going to sign off as well. Guys, this has been amazing. In the comment section, you'll find that coupon code to get free shipping on Orba. Instrument One has free shipping right now anyway. Thank you to Paulo for putting all this together. Thank you to my colleagues for managing the comment section tonight. I'm curious to know if you guys like this format. We can do this again, for sure, outside of the Synth Expo, just through the Artiphon channels. So make sure that you subscribe to the Artiphon YouTube channel. Please reach out with any and all questions. We love seeing what you guys are making. If you already have an Orba, please use the hashtag OrbaLoops so we can track you down and repost your stuff share it with our audience. There's so much more I could say, but we've been on for a little while, and I'm going to sign off. So thank you guys, and have a great night.